Man, do I have the treat for you today. It's not every day, not too often, that you get to see a stately car such as this 1972 Ambassador up close and personal. But before getting into this one, I'm your host, Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that does deep dives on lost and mostly forgotten car brands. Dare to be different. Loads of cars to drive that aren't 57 Chevys. Back in the day when cars were built to last and made to be fixed, we dive in deep on the history, specs, designs, but most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds of interest to you, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. 1972 AMC model lineup consisted of the Hornet SST, Matador, Gremlin, Javelin, Javelin AMX. Ambassador was at the top. Ambassador was offered in two trim levels. You could get the Ambassador SST or the Ambassador Brougham. The Ambassador Brougham could be had in three body styles: four-door sedan, two-door hardtop coupe, four-door wagon. The same body styles also apply to the SST. AMC offered the Ambassador, and that's a bit of a trick answer because Ambassador predates AMC. Being first offered as a Nash in 1927, the Ambassador was top offering over at Nash through 1957. For those that don't know, Nash and Hudson merged to form American Motors Corporation in 1954. Nash and Hudson were still being produced under the AMC umbrella until being discontinued, going all in on Rambler in 1958. But the Ambassador would remain as top offering under AMC, offered in 6 generations under Nash, 8 generations under AMC, for a total of 14 generations. When Ambassador was discontinued in 1974, it was the longest continuous nameplate in use, going from 1927 all the way to 1974, 47-year run. 1972 falls in the 7th generation, which was produced 69, 70, 71, 72, and 73. When it was redesigned for the 7th generation, the 1969 Ambassador grew 4 inches in length overall, designed by Dick Teague and his team. Let's talk specs. 211 inches long, 77.25 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 122 inches. It weighs 3,551 pounds. Price, $4,002, which would be equivalent to you spending $31,017.99 in the year 2025. Total AMC production was 279,132 units, of which total four-door Ambassador Brougham sedan was 16,432 units. With those sales figures, AMC was able to bring in $1.4 billion. They were able to make a $30.2 million profit in 1972. And a lot of that had to do with the AMC buyer protection plan. Moving on to engines, which there were 3. Starting in the proverbial basement with a 304 cubic inch displacement overhead valve AMC V8. It was capable of 150 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, 265 pound-feet, or 332 newton meters around 2,400 RPM, with a bore of 3 3/4 of an inch and a stroke of 3.44 inches. Compression was 8.4 to 1. When backed with a manual 3-speed transmission, 0 to 60 could be had in 11.3 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 105 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 13 to 15 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the middle option, 360 cubic inch displacement AMC overhead valve V8 5.9 liters. It was good for anywhere between 175 horsepower to 195 horsepower. You got 195 horsepower with a 4-barrel carburetor, the less amount with a 2-barrel carburetor, and that happened around 4,400 RPM. 285 pound-feet, or 386 newton meters around 2,400 RPM, with a bore 4.08 inches and a stroke of 3.44 inches. Compression was 8.5 to 1. When backed with a 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in 10 seconds with a theoretical top speed of 120 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 11.8 to 13 miles to the gallon. Moving on to the biggest and baddest engine that one could get with the AMC Ambassador, which was the 401 cubic inch displacement overhead valve, AMC V8 6.6 liters. It was good for 255 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, 345 pound-feet or 468 newton meters around 3,400 RPM, with a bore of 4.165 inches and a stroke of 3.68 inches. When backed with a manual 3-speed, 0 to 60 could be had in an impressive 7.7 seconds, with an alleged top speed of 135 miles per hour while achieving an average of anywhere between 8 to 10 miles to the gallon. Mileage may vary depending on a lot of different factors. These are all just jumping off points. I found this car on YouTube probably about 10 years ago watching Auto Moments with Joe Ligo. For those that don't know, his channel is one of the major inspirations for me making my automotive channel. And I wanted nothing more than to sit down and talk cars with Joe, which was yesterday's episode. So if you missed yesterday's, I would encourage you to go watch it. It's actually really cool. I really want to start getting into interviewing people in the car space. And the offer is extended to anybody. If you're watching this and you're in the automotive sector, reach out to me at @it's_like@yahoo.com. Let's sit down and talk cars. I also wanted to take a minute and tell you of this really awesome documentary that Joe put together on AMC, the last independent automaker. It is a stellar 6-part documentary series that I can't recommend enough. I'm going to put the link in the description. Be sure to check it out after the show. Let's talk styling on this car. Just notice the turn signal indicators here, bumpers, and there's this turn signal indicator down here as well. This car has bumperettes, rubber bumperettes that go down. Just take a look at the headlights and how they're recessed in, and the grille, how it slants out. Also notice the profile of the hood. This car does have a center line going back towards the single piece windshield with windshield wipers that follow. But notice the hood line, and then it gets more raised, like the center line, and then you have these two lines off to the side that protrude up more. There's a lot of interesting lines in this hood design. Got two external split cowl vents. External, there is, looks to be stainless around the windshield. Got nice bright molding on the rocker, and it continues down to that rocker the whole way down the car. The wheel wells are flared and they're capped off with bright trim. Ambassador on the fender. Also notice how this bevels down. Got beltline trim. This car also has pinstripes very nicely. See how it starts off as a single pinstripe and it comes out as to two pinstripes and it goes the whole way down. This car does have drip rails that start right here and they run the length of the cabin of the car. This car also has the rain deflectors, which is really cool to see. Vent windows. The side mirror location is located on the door, just behind where the wing window is. Notice it's painted body color. Also see how that's designed. It's painted body color, but it's on a bright pedestal. Vinyl top, it says brougham. Notice the vinyl top continues right here on the door. There's also this trim piece right here on the door. The attention to detail is awesome. The rear fenders also flare out. Gas fillers on the driver's side with a reflector there. Big nice piece of back glass that's all trimmed out. American Motors badge in the center up there. Notice how this swoops up on the deck lid. Absolutely awesome rear end. The rear bumper is totally different design than the front bumper, but it retains these same bumperettes with the rubber guards. Ambassador badge. Getting inside, but before we do, just take a gander at these door handles. So just take a gander at this door trim or frame. Take a gander at this door frame. The owner was telling me that it's a separate piece and it's connected right here. You take this bolt out and there's probably another bolt on this side. And you unscrew that and the whole thing just lifts up if you need to replace it, which is a super interesting thing. Got all the data plates and stuff. This door panel, all right, taking a look at this door panel. It's a really nice material. You got the armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut, lock and unlock the doors. Door handle to get out, window crank for the big window, which operates like this. And what's interesting about this window is when you roll it up, there's a gap over here, like a 1-inch gap for like a vent, like an added vent, until it gets to the top. So as you roll the window up, it slides in. Oh, that's really cool. I never saw anything like that. Got the joystick for the side mirror. There's wood inlay as well as really nice carpet. Coming down inside the pedal box down here, you have the high beam switch on the floor where it should be. Emergency brake or parking brake, brake pedal, gas pedal. There is a footwell vent, which is really nice to have. Brake release, hood release. Just take a gander at this interior. Here is what over the hood would look like. Here's what first person over the hood would look like. Up above you have sun visors. They look like this and they have this nice cutout for the rear view mirror so it doesn't affect it. You can have both of them down and it not bother that. It's daytime, nighttime rear view mirror. So let's talk about this dashboard. Notice the air vents are inside the dashboard itself. Also notice there's this bevel line here and it continues the whole way across the dash. So you got coolant temperature, 120 mile per hour speedometer with the odometer in the center, gasoline gauge off to the other side. I don't know how well you can see this because there's a glare in the that's why I originally used to wear like gray shirts because of the glares and stuff. But there is wood grain inside the speedometer. It's interesting. So the wood grain that is on the outside, it is actually, the speedometer is also printed on the wood grain, which is really cool. And you got your headlights down there, windshield wipers, which is a switch. Drive select modes read, park, reverse, neutral, drive second and first, torque command. Just take a gander at the steering wheel. It's pretty cool. Just notice this crest. You got the key. Notice it's a locking cylinder. And right down here below this, below the key, that's four-way hazard lights. You got your climate controls, fan blower speed off to the side. There's different settings for off, max AC, normal, vent, heat, defog, defrost, and then a slider at the top for cooler to the left and warmer to the right. Notice there is a setting for desert only. Evidently, if you live in a climate that has absolutely no humidity, no moisture in the air, that's what that setting's for. It takes the thermostat out of the equation and just runs the air conditioner at full blast so it doesn't freeze up. Because once it's frozen up, it won't produce cold air. Awesome vertical radio with your tone and station selector. There is an ashtray as well as cigarette lighter. Glove boxes right here. Coming to the rear, also wanted to point this out one more time because I think it's cool. It's only like a 2 or 3 inch spot, and it has trim where it kicks up there. I don't know, it's really cool. It's also cool to see the aluminum frames. It's almost like a hark back to the Nash era. But door's a lot like the front door. The armrest is on a different section of the door panel. There is an ashtray on the door panel itself, which is interesting. And then you have carpet down here. Look at how the floor is channeled out back here, as well as the transmission tunnel. These seats, the front seats, have headrests, and I think it's really cool that if you put the headrest down, then it's almost like a chair or a seat without headrests, but it comes up, instead of it ending in the middle of your back, it goes up for more back support. So I just wanted to point that out. I think that's really cool. There's also no center armrest in the front. The seats are together, but you could probably sit somebody in the middle, but it'd be a cheek on each seat. Got dome light in center. There is a coat hook over there, as well as a coat hook over here. Let's talk seat back profile. The seat back is really, really nice. These are really comfortable seats. It is reclined. The bench doesn't dip down nearly as much as a lot of cars did, and the bench is rather wide. But with all of that said, I'm 6'2", and I got adequate space to sit back here comfortably. You could also put your feet up underneath the seat and kind of like recline a little bit, and there's more space. But yeah, it's a comfortable car to sit in. It would be a great family hauler. Rides super nice. These seats are really nice. I don't know how to really describe them. They're very, very plushy, very soft material. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse, or the pillar to glass ratio in this car. It is rather nice in this car, and this is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. Taking gander under the hood, you got a 12-volt battery. Notice the horns. It's got dual horns, like way down inside here. There's one there, and there's one over there. You've got your windshield washer fluid, coolant reservoir. This car's got power steering. It's also got a dual master cylinder up there. It's also got a dual master cylinder with power brake booster. This one's got the 360 V8, AMC V8, massive air conditioning compressor. Alternator's way down inside there. Spin-on oil filtration. Oil filter down inside there. So check out this. This is an interesting design choice. I don't know if the intention was to hold tools or if it was to collect water, but it seems like this would be a really good place for water to collect. But I will point out that there are holes in here for water to escape, both up there, and there's another one down here. But once the water escapes, then it just seems like that would be a really good way for the inner fender to rust.
Cruise good.
It has a nice ride. It rides very similar to like an 80s Lincoln.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, it's not maybe as soft as, you can just throw that under the seat so it doesn't flap around. It's maybe not as soft as like a Cadillac or something, but it still rides pretty well. And it's just drivable. It's so drivable. Like, I love how, I've driven it on the highway. It doesn't love going over 65, but this car is so happy on like back roads going like 45 to 50, just cruising around. It could do that all day. The rear end is, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's geared high enough that like you can just cruise around all day and hardly stress the engine at all at 45. But once you get on the highway and you get over 65, you know, things start shaking and it's a lot less fun. So you've driven across the state of Pennsylvania, so you know what it's like around Breezewood and up. I guess you probably took 80. But
I wanted to take 80 when I brought the truck down here, but I took the $1 Million Highway.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't as nice as I was hoping it would be.
So I took 30 across the state in this once, and driving through Breezewood on 30 versus driving through on the Turnpike, it's beautiful in the fall. I mean, the trees are gorgeous, the hills, the mountains are gorgeous, but it was quite the drive. I was going down this really long downhill. I'm like, well, we better shift down into second so we don't overheat the brakes. It was quite it spooked me.
The truck, the 52's got drum brakes all the way around.
Same.
And it's nice having a stick. Because
you can just plop it into third or second or whatever and just ride it out.
I don't use the brakes. I use the transmission.
You can turn right here probably.
Yeah, so I don't use the brakes. I use the transmission to slow down, and then whenever I have to stop, I just put my foot on the brake. And it's crazy because like they've always squealed, and I've gotten them adjusted, and they're the brake pads are completely like they're not used because I don't use them.
Huh.
I've had the dead stop a couple times.
It's sketchy.
Oh God, I almost hit that car that one time. I got behind a lady in Boardman, Ohio. There's 2 lanes of traffic in the streets and stuff, and we're going 45, 50 through town in the truck or whatever. And this lady decides she slides in front of me, which is okay because we were going. Light turns yellow. She decides to stop, and I was like, I can't do that. And I slid over in the middle lane, and I looked at her. I was like, I thought we were going. But man, this is a very interesting driving position because there's some cars that you sit on, and there's some cars that you sit in. This is definitely a car that you sit in.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's sensitive.
Yeah, I was like pushing the brake, and nothing was happening. Yeah, so.
Yeah, the hip point is very low.
The dashboard's like to my chin. Oh my! Well, it's past my chin. It's like to my. It's very interesting. But it doesn't feel weird or anything. It's just a car that you sit in. Very like 67 Mustangs like that.
Ah, okay. You sit down in it.
You sit down in it. Mustang's seats more on the floor too. I'm not trying to compare an Ambassador to a Mustang, but
no, but I know what you mean. The seats are very low.
Yeah, the power steering's effortless. Just glides down the road. We're doing 45 on these back roads, and it's just an amazing driving car. It's a surreal experience because I've watched Joe for years and I watched him talk about his Ambassador, and I was like, man, I would love to meet Joe, and that was like 10 years ago. And now I'm sitting here driving Joe's car. It's crazy.
Funny the way things go, huh?
It's funny how things work, and yeah, and it would have never happened if I never reached out to Derek, who owned that
that cool Packard of his, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the Ambassador?
I love it. I love the perforated, what are they, Uganda perforated vinyl seats that were optional. I really like the bucket seats too. I know that you were more partial. You wish that you had the bench, but
either way is cool. But I think there's something cool about benches because you can't get them anymore, right? I like things you can't get anymore, and so that's why I like AMCs. That's why I like bench seats.
I can't believe how effortless the power steering is. I love the steering wheel nubs too. I talk about it on my channel about the steering wheel nubs, and people are like, that's creepy. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, the nubs.
It's different. It gives you something to, and the steering wheel's pencil thin, and it tapers in on the one side, and it's a nice steering wheel to hold on to.
Dude, I agree. I like having a steering wheel that has grip on it. It's not like a weird thing. It's just, versus like a leather wheel or whatever. I like the plastic wheel. I like the thin wheel, and I like having, a spot for my fingers to go. It makes sense. It's like, of course, your fingers go in between the nubs.
And they all do it differently. Like, there's some that have like really deep ones. I'm trying to think. There was 57 Buick, I think. really deep.
Right, some of those old ones, they got like grip on them, man.
Yeah.
So.
I was just gonna try to do a loop.
Yeah, that's fine.
Going. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, sure. This is fun. It's fun to talk about cars. And the wood grain speedometer, right? My favorite feature. The wood grain speedometer that says you're going 10 miles an hour faster than you are.
Is that it?
Give or take. I think the faster you go, the less accurate it gets. So like if it says you're doing 35, you're probably doing 33, but then if it says you're doing 75, you're only doing 65. Like the faster you go, the less accurate it is.
I was worried because like big cars are hard to judge speed.
Right. The good thing is it says you're going faster than you are, so I'll never get a speeding ticket. Because to actually speed, it has to say I'm doing like 90. You know, to do 70, it has to say 90. So I drive like
familiar.
Yeah, I drive like an old man, and that's the perfect car for an old man because this is the kind of car an old man would drive. Actually, it's funny. I was reading either Popular Mechanics or Consumer Reports or one of those things for AMC for the Ambassador for 70. They took a survey of 72 owners after a year, and they said they took a survey of owners and they said, why did you buy an AMC Ambassador? And, you know, they had styling, fuel economy, price, comfort, and all of those ranked after because I already owned an AMC Ambassador. So the biggest reason people bought these is because they already owned one. You know, styling, fuel economy, price, comfort, none of those things mattered. It was, oh, I already had one. It's like, what's the most boring reason for buying a car? Because somebody already had one.
It's crazy.
But
I guess AMC had some really good customer loyalty.
I think it was definitely a customer loyalty thing. I think it was a lot of people were like, well, I already had one. It was fine, so I might as well buy another one. One thing that's interesting on that is that the survey data said whether you have the 304, the 360, or the 401, gas mileage is pretty much the same.
Interesting.
They said gas mileage is about 12 miles per gallon regardless of engine. So
wow.
I did a little bit better. On my trip across, I drove from Pennsylvania to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and on my 1,400 mile, well, I guess the first half of the trip, the 700 miles out, I measured my gas mileage, and it was about 14 and a half, maybe 15. So that was pretty good, and that was with the AC going. I didn't bother measuring my gas mileage on the way home, but I think it was probably a little worse because we drove a little bit faster.
It's got a nice horn.
On the positive side, big, stately car without being huge, it just glides down the road with ease, effortless power steering. Interestingly awesome speedometer on wood grain. Vertical radio, awesome seats, both front and rear. Vent windows, great selection of engines to choose from. Against it, it is harder to find than you would think. Parts, especially lights and special trim parts, can be hard to find. But I will say the AMC group and or club is awesome, and they can usually point you in the right direction to find the things that you need. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. Two scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1972 Oldsmobile Delta 88 for around $4,238 or 1972 AMC Ambassador for $4,002 or 1972 Mercury Grand Marquis, which was more at $5,000 and change? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario, 1972 Buick LeSabre for around $3,958 or 1972 AMC Ambassador for around $4,002 or 1972 Chrysler Newport Custom for around $4,287. I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band, song title, and the lyric that comes next. You need all three to have your comment pinned to the top of the comment section. All my friends call me a fool. They say, let the woman take care of you. So just to reiterate, you need the name of the band, song title, and the song lyric or the line that comes next to have your comment pinned. It has to be in the comment section too. It won't let me pin the live chat comments. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming out and watching this one. Thank you so much, Joe, for the experience. I got to spend last Wednesday with Joe, and we had lunch at this awesome place in Hershey called Simply Greek. I think it's on Chocolate Avenue. I will put it in the description. If you're ever in Hershey and you're looking for a place to get great food, I'm not talking mediocre food, I'm talking about great food, check out Simply Greek. They have an amazing menu, amazing staff, amazing food, and it's super affordable. So if you're in Hershey, that's a great place to eat. Until next time, thank you. Oh, right. Thank you guys so much for everything that you bring in the comment section. And until next time, toodaloo!
Spirit a few years ago, there's like a road with a barn on it and a nice little area where you could get off on the side of the road and film me driving past.
That'd be awesome.
You're gonna use literally the exact same spot that I used.
I saw that you let regular car reviews did a review of your car. I was like, that's
Yeah.
Joe's car.
That was a few years ago, yeah. Yeah, that was fun. All right, yeah, this is a beautiful road. These nice sweeping curves.
Oh yeah, I'd love to come down at the base of this hill and get you coming around the bend
Yep.
and down. That'd look great.
Got these soybeans here that are all...
I wanted to leave you guys with a little bit of a blooper. Welcome to the after show. This part of the video doesn't have any sound or commentary, but it gives you the opportunity to see this car in its entirety without me walking around explaining things. You get to see all of the trim pieces, all of the parts, and how they interact with one another. Enjoy.